Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be going over who I believe is the best Premier League team of all time. And when I say Premier League team, I mean just an actual team who dominated the Premier League. When you think of the best Premier League sides ever, you've got the first one that comes to mind has probably got to be Manchester United. The fact they've won the league 13 times really does make them stand out above the rest. No team has ever really come close to that. But since the Premier League began, we've been blessed with some very good teams in the Premier League era, managed by some great managers as well. You've had Sir Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger, Jose Mourinho, even now the likes of Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp who have now come into the fold. There's been some great managers in charge of some very good teams. It's a difficult one just to say who the best Premier League team ever is. It's never an easy one to analyse. But yeah, everyone will have their different opinions. No doubt fans of all the clubs will say it was that team, but neutrals are probably the best people to ask. Now, I am an Arsenal fan, of course, and they did have the Invincibles, so it'd be easy for me just to sit here and say Arsenal's Invincibles were the best Premier League side ever, but there's much more to it than just, saying that. You've got to look at more in depth at it, in my opinion. Of course, the first Premier League team probably should go over is Manchester United treble winning one, 1998-1999 season. Man United's treble winning team were a very good team indeed, and this was really Sir Alex at his peak. Sir Alex Ferguson, he was great throughout his whole Manchester United career, near enough, especially from when the Premier League era began. But the 98-99 team to win the treble, no one's ever achieved that since this Manchester United team. So that really does show us how much of a big achievement it was. Man United were a fantastic. They only lost, I believe it was 3 or 4 games across all competitions in the same season as well, which really does make it very impressive. They went 33 games unbeaten as well, from Christmas to the end of the season, which is also a very impressive thing to do. They had such a good team, and that midfield will always stand out for me. The likes of Beckham, Scholes, Keane, and Giggs. That midfield four was fantastic for Manchester United, and then of course you had the strikers Andy Cole, Dwight York, and then you had Sheringham and Solskjaer as backup, the two men who scored in the Champions League final. Quite scary, to be honest with you, just how good that Man United team was. And that's certainly got to rank up there in the best side in the Premier League era. To win the treble's a fantastic achievement in itself, but just how well Manchester United did, it was certainly something. A very good team indeed. Next thing, you have Arsenal's Invincibles. Of course, already touched on how many people believe they are the best Premier League team ever. The only team to ever go invincible, so you can't take that away from them. Yes, Arsenal did draw 12 games in the 2003-04 season, but still, a few of them draws were at the end of the season in games Arsenal didn't really necessarily need to win. I think it was more they had already had the league wrapped up. But yeah, no, great achievement. Arsenal ended on 90 points and they went 49 Premier League games unbeaten overall, which ended against Manchester United in October 2004 in quite controversial fashion as well. Arsenal from 1 to 11, it was hard to find a weakness in that Arsenal team. Most, if not every player, was very good. And yeah, from 1 to 11, they had a great team. And this was really Arsenal at their best. They were a team everyone feared playing, this Arsenal side. So yeah, very, very good team indeed. And of course, they did have Thierry Henry up front along with Dennis Bergkamp. In my opinion, might be a little bit biased, the best strike partnership I think we've probably seen in the Premier League era. That strike partnership was truly fantastic. But yeah, great Arsenal's Invincibles are a great team, and I can see why many people do believe they are the best of the Premier League era. They've certainly got a great shout to be that, something that no one has achieved since, despite a lot of money being thrown down in football these days. Yeah, for no one to have be invincible since Arsenal, for me, just shows how impressive that record was. Next up, you got Chelsea, who just a season later, actually in 2004-05, went very impressively. Went only conceded 15 goals in an entire Premier League season. Now that is truly brilliant. Chelsea 2004-05 and 2005, 6 men under Jose were very, very good. It was a Chelsea team that, again, are going to know how Arsenal were intimidating and hard to beat. This Chelsea team, they were so good defensively, and they were just generally a brilliant team, to be honest with you. Not necessarily great to watch all the time. Jose Mourinho's laid back style of football's always been, never the most attractive necessarily, but certainly did bring him success in his early managerial career days. And this was another example of that, actually. Chelsea won the Premier League on 95 points. They beat Arsenal's points tally from the previous season, only lost one game all season, and that was to Manchester City, when Man City were not like they were now. This was a very much weaker mid-table to relegation battle in Man City, but they beat them, and that was the only team in the league to beat them that season. So Chelsea very unfortunate to miss out on the Premier League uh, on a Premier League invincible season, just like Arsenal. But another thing that was very impressive about Chelsea, this wasn't just 2004, 2006, this was 2004 to 2008. They went 86 games unbeaten at Stamford Bridge at one point, which is absolutely brilliant. It's a record that doesn't really get talked about enough, and the credit just doesn't deserve to go to Jose Mourinho there. I mean, Avram Grant was in charge of some of that, and then it ended with Luis Felipe Scolari in charge. But I mean, what a fantastic record that was for Chelsea. I mean, started in February 2004 with a 2-1 loss against Arsenal. It wasn't until Liverpool beat them at Stamford Bridge in October 2008 that they actually lost that record. But yeah, Chelsea were brilliant, rock solid defenders like John Terry, Ricardo Carvalho. They had Petr Cech in goal. They were a great team, and I can see why people would maybe say they are the best team of the Premier League era. Maybe not to watch, but as a whole, they were a very, very good team, and Jose Mourinho really got the best out of that Chelsea side as well. Next up, I mean, I might just throw in there Man United's team that won 3 in a row, another Manchester United side. The one from 2006-7, 2008-9. That was a very good Manchester United team, and that was really them years when Cristiano Ronaldo proper kick-started his career. I mean, they were the years really when Ronaldo before that was getting there, but he wasn't quite there. But from then onwards, he was truly fantastic, and yeah, that's when Man United won 3 Premier League titles in a row. They won a Champions League as well. Brilliant! What a Manchester United team that was. They had lots of Ronaldo, Rooney, Tevez, the partnership of Vidic and Ferdinand, Patrice Evra at left back, Michael Carrick in midfield, Paul Scholes. It was truly a great Manchester United team to watch. I absolutely used to. That was the team I mainly grew up with. I used to really like watching that Manchester United team and just how good they really were. But they were rivaled very well by Chelsea as well. They were a very good team, but yeah, Chelsea just didn't quite beat Man United to the league titles. But yeah, what a side Manchester United were back then, and they've certainly got to be in the conversation, I think, for best Premier League team ever. Another thing, they did keep a lot of clean sheets in the 08-09 season. I believe it was about 14, 15 in a row. And that was a big reason they did go on to win the league that year, despite being doubled by their closer challengers Liverpool in the same season. But yeah, great team as well. The first team I really got to witness at, when I was proper into football, and they were certainly great. Next up, we've got Manchester City Centurions. Now, Man City Centurions, this is Pep Guardiola's second season in charge. And Pep Guardiola in this season, despite spending a lot of money, got his signings absolutely spot on. Man City Centurions were a team that they never really looked like losing many games, to be honest with you. Very, very good team. And yeah, I mean, 100 points in a season never been done till Manchester City did it, so another record broken by them. But Man City broke many records in that season. I mean, they got the most away points. They broke many other records that weren't just that. But just to get 100 points in a Premier League season is quite something. Despite spending a lot of money, you've got to spend it right. And Man City absolutely did in that summer. And yeah, I mean, absolutely, man, they won 18 Premier League games in a row that season as well, which is just another record they broke. But they broke many records. The only teams they lost to, Man City as well, were top 4 rivals such as Liverpool and Manchester United. So, other than that, they didn't lose to anyone who was lower than them. But yeah, they were a great team, and they also won the league the following season, which was last season, with 98 points. So 198 points in just 2 seasons. That is incredible. Yeah, great Man City team, and Pep Guardiola got his signing spot on, as I said, and they're a great team to watch as well. Truly brilliant. And next side I'm going to mention might be a bit too premature for this, but Liverpool's current team. I mean, yes, they're not there yet. They've not yet won the Premier League, but if this Liverpool team can keep it up consistently and they can keep all their players, which I believe they will, they are currently European champions. This Liverpool team's got a chance of winning a few Premier League titles in a row. They've been unfortunate this year. The season is, not continuing. It's not gone all the way through because by now they'd no doubt be Premier League champions. But, yeah, this Liverpool team currently, Jurgen Klopp's had to take a few years to build, but he's done very, very well in building it. You can obviously, you can argue how good this Liverpool team is, but Liverpool are arguably the first team in, well, if not ever, to rely a lot on their fullbacks. I mean, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andrew Robertson have 42 league assists between them in just 2 seasons, which is amazing, to be honest with you. They're just generally brilliant. And, of course, you've got Firmino, Mane, Salah in the front three. They're just a very good team, Liverpool, and if they can keep it up there, They may be one or two players away, but I mean, I don't even see where the improvement's got to come there. They're just truly a great team. And yeah, that's probably my best teams of the Premier League era, and it might be a bit too premature to say Liverpool yet, but I do believe they're well on their way if they can keep it up. But yeah, this team, so not just Liverpool, but all the teams I've mentioned were very good teams, and probably I believe the best of the Premier League era we've seen. But there's been some very good ones, and for me to say one outright, it's difficult because they've all been great in their different ways. I mean, may I add as well, Liverpool have actually equalled Man City's 18-game winning run as well, which ended, unfortunately, with that 3-0 loss to Watford. But yeah, some great teams in there, and it's difficult to say, but please let me know your best in the comments below, and please like, share and subscribe. Still trying to get the channels to take off as much as I can, and still trying to come up with as much fresh football content as I can. But I'll be back next week actually with some WWE as well. From Sunday, I'll be doing the Money in the Bank and commentary on that. So yeah, really enjoying this so far. Please keep watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, just trying to keep the channel going. But thank you, and I'll see you soon.